Morning everyone, or afternoon, wherever you may be. We're going to move on to stage two of our seascape here. Got all our darks sort of just when we stain them in there. I've actually just lifted it up, the composition up about 2 centimeters roughly, and taken it up a bit there. Even though it's getting close to halfway, it's not going to be a big problem because we have this breaking up into there, and it's very soft and atmospheric back there, so it's not a harsh division back there. So I think it's still going to work, close to halfway. It's just on or just below it's going to be by the time it comes through. I'll probably scale the mountain down a bit too to send it back so it's not dominant. Not going to fight with our foreground here, but I'll start and mix up some paint for our rocks. Now I'll go for the focal point here, the nice rocks and light and shade and contrast value, dark and light that's in our rocks. And everything there's very much a form of grey, subtle greys. We've got some orangey, browny greys in the foreground, a little bit more silvery sort of greys there. So we've got a little bit of sky bouncing down into it in areas as well, which will harmonise it. But we'll go for, I think I like that area there. Those sort of greys are probably the easiest to nail first up around the focal point, so I'll go for that. Plenty of white. I go a little bit of the red oxide into there, and a little bit of blue. We need, and a little bit of the alizarin. Get it, there we go. Starting to get around. Warm it up, maybe warm up a little bit of ochre. There we are. So you know what I did there? Red, yellow and blue. So I've got my grey, and I'll mix it around, and the only way you're going to know, you've got to mix it and place a bit on there to give yourself an idea of the look at that, straight away it takes, doesn't it, the against the dark values I've already got on there. And it's good to keep looking back at your subject too, just picking up some of the greys, which helps me. And I might even give it a variation, push a little bit more crimson into it and a little bit more blue on the side. So I'm going to get a little variation of greys. Can you see that there? And I'll skip it over and leave. And just leave, maybe just a little bit of red in there too, warming. There we go, nice. That's enough now because we've got our darker rock coming in here. It's quite a good subject. It's got a lot of variety in our rock and colour. That'll do. And there's those little darks I'll indicate going across there. There we go, like that. Don't need to be definite, just hint and feel those little values left in there. And there. It's a little bit warmer up there in areas. So seeing those little warm tints of the yellows and the variety in there. See, I'm just leaving subtle little darks there. It's going to indicate the shadows in our rocks. Let's step back and see how it's looking. Now, what I might do now, see the darker greeny grey values of this rock here, which I might use another brush. Keep that as a bit lighter. And I'll try this one. bit more blue in that mix. Strengthen up a bit of the red oxide, I'll get it. White, get a good amount to work with there. It also helps on comparing it on my palette as well there. You can see the, look back at the photo. It's got these, there we go. Bit of that in there. It's also got a little bit greeny tinge to it as well. So if I want a greeny tinge, I'll just push a bit of the yellow into that bluey grey. It's going to get me a green. Okay, let's have a look at what we got here. We might work back a bit. That white water looks great running over the... There we go. And just soften it in where they meet. So I'm just bouncing around all the different red, yellow and blue combinations here. A greeny tinge on the rock, a greeny yellow, looks good, there we go. I see you're picking up the paint on the nice end of the brush, the chiseled effect, and I'm laying it on, and I can just sort of blend it where I want, soften it back into the greys, or we can use our knife if we want to just soften it back here and there, get a nice, break it up with a knife, that's nice. When you use the knife, it brings us some of the underpainting back through it as well, which looks good. Yeah, it's good having this colour left up here too. I can just go straight to it in a way, like just notice a nice little brown or silvery grey in there. Okay, just a tad, there we go. See, those values and darks come into play now, don't they, with setting the pattern. And goes around as well. Here's our bigger rock in here. Get a feel of him. Bit of the red gold or and the blue there gets that nice, bit richer green look to it. I like that nice little dark value in behind here too. Grab our brush with more of the light greys. Bit in there we go, nice. So just lightly dry brush over that a bit and leave some of them, you can see those little darks coming through there, just indicates our values we want. So I'm sort of searching out as much variety as I can amongst these rocks. We don't want them all the same one colour. There's all subtle variations, which you probably see, or much easier to see in it's much easier to see in nature, because when you get photos developed, you get sort of drawing on knowledge of painting a lot of these things from life and that, but when you get photos developed, you can get 3 or 4 different harmonies or color tints in a photo. You can get, you know, one that's more on the reddy side, blue side, or yellow side, depending on the amount of inks they use in the process, or what's the dominant ink. So you have to be careful. You have to make your own adjustments working off a photo. All different printers also give you a different effect of a photo. So you can see I'm sort of got the brush loaded. These brights, so you can see the lovely little square sharp edge comes into play, especially painting rocks, roofs and rocks and buildings and stuff like that. Lovely. And this is quite a nice one, actually. I like it. It's a Luke from Senior sent it up to me the other day, and it's the Neef Bright 10-1150. It's a nice brush, nice sharp edge. You pick up a brush and a lot of the time they just feel right. They get the effect that you want. You know, with the loaded sort of paint and that sort of thing, they get the effect you want. Always wipe out the knife too before you use it, because you don't want the other colour that was on there before interfering with it a great deal. That's nice. Could richen that with a little bit more warmer colour, I feel. Maybe just a tad. Some of that warmer yellows we had. Maybe a little bit of red in it. Subtle. But you can sort of see the variety I've got there so far for the rocks, the highlights. And that little warmer tint on those cool blue or grey rock there looks great. There we go. See that? Don't need much, just a little bit, even soften it in. Because we want to get an effect of distance even from here to there and up the back. There we go. And we'll keep all the sharp edges and strong edges and stuff happening around here. That'll look great. A few little bright bits of white water that glisten on there. We'll get them a bit later. They'll be nice around that focal a bit. Okay. Edge of the knife here and there will look nice. There we go. Leave him there. Go over there. I got a bit more. I can see some brighter sort of green there. So we'll go for a bit of the cadmium and a little bit of the Viridian or a turquoise, or the cerulean will get it. There's a bit of cerulean will even do it. There we go, look at that. As I said, it's all in those cooler bluey greens. I'm going to get more of a limey. When you're after that limey green, you're not using the ultramarine, you're using more the ceruleans and turquoises and that sort of thing. A few dabs of that green look good there. There we go. Oh, look at that real crimsony rock there. We'll get a little bit of that there. Just a couple of dabs of the green. I can see it dancing through the picture here and there. We'll just flick a bit here and there just to give us an idea. Don't want it too much, but just a few bits of it will really complement our picture. Just lift it back. There we go. And we've got that lovely crimsony reddy orange one. We'll go with some browny colour there. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that around the focal point a bit. You can see starting to shape up. And we can come back in with just thicken up some darks just to do a bit of drawing in there. Of course, you know the one I go straight for a dark. Ultramarine, a bit of the red oxide, maybe a little bit of that alizarin there. It's on that browny side, so we'll get a feel of that. There we go. And a bit of atmospheric blue going, and push a bit of straight ultra in there, look at that. And I like the way it sort of dances back to this point. I've got to get that effect in here. Come down a bit more there. There we go. Let's put a little bit of reflected light in there, so we'll just get some of these warms. I'll just subtly push it into that dark. There we go. Just a little bit. Softening it, so it's just blending in the dark value I've got there already. Just a tad. And also, we'll go a bit of that. The high key, that sparkly bit would scumble a bit on the rock there, look at that. A little bit there. So sort of just modelling up our focal point in a way here. I'm sort of looking back. Around, there we go. Around. Starting to take shape. Said always, the painting develops much easier if you can manage to work out of the focal point, because everything around it will tell you what it needs. Once you get that enough to satisfy the eye, the painting will only paint itself for you. Okay. And when we eventually come in and cut in with our white water there, it'll expose the sort of shapes we want in the rocks as well. So a lot of the time I'm thinking ahead what the next stage is going to do while I'm sort of doing this as well. That sort of See how important our underpainting is of our darks there? It sort of makes it easy just to leave them exposed as we're painting, visualising the pattern you want. There we go. And little character designs. Just got some modelling. There we go. So you can push the darks back to reload the brush up. The ultra. Lesser uneven. Oh, look at that colour in there. Grab a bit of that pure cerulean, even push that in as a cool reflected light. There we go, look at that. Just a tad. We don't want to try and keep them darks nice and simple. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Make that more, it's a little bit more grey. A bit of a alizarin colour. Red, yellow and blue. All the variations here. See that lovely. It's more important to be thinking about those little dark values of our rocks. That will, where to leave them. Now I should be stepping back a bit more myself. Have a look at this. Yes, there we go. And just connect it here and there if I want to just blend some of these shapes a little bit. When it's so busy, like there's a lot happening, you pick out the more dominant values and darks in the painting. Or the subject. And if you get some nice things happening, leave it alone, even if it's a bit different to what our photo is. listen to the painting. Because in the end, it's more about what's going to make a great painting. Like that little rock, it's like a little triangular pointer pointing its end of the picture there a bit. What's he about there? Another one here. Okay, back a bit, connect him a tad, that's better. Get a little bit of another pinky grey. And a rock there. Just a bit more just here. There we go. Just a little tweak there. Greying back a bit more. Still very conscious of value here. Even though I'm talking about colour and stuff, I'm still very conscious of looks good. Just break it through there, that's better. Okay. Bit richer colour in there where the water's wet, so I'm using a bit of the red gold or the Indian yellow, or you can even use a bit of cad, throw that in there, even it's going to get the same thing, just a richer yellowy green. Also looking at that lovely, that's nice, just the modelling when you got a dark, brush, another brushy for some bigger darks. There we go. Ultra. Again. The red oxide or burnt sienna if you haven't got the red oxide. And so you're going to just thicken up or re-establish where I think I might need a bit more strength in them. But I've got the pattern there. You can see all that still there. And a bit of pure ultra even thrown in amongst it. See how it sits in next to the tone. There we go. And let me just key up a little bit in here, I can see. Just a nice sharp bright brush. I'll get that little warmer highlight just to bring a little bit of form. You can see it just, water's going to run over there roughly. And it's just a little bit there. I like it. There we go. Just models at a fraction. Nice, yummy, warm brown colour. Browny green, but you can see all that variety. I'll step back and have a look at it myself. Yeah, starting to take shape. I might get a few of these rocks in here working with that tone we want. Gauge roughly where they're coming down. There we go. Just leaving subtle little darks in them here and there. And I like the way that little point comes through there. There we go. So you can just tweak the darks, but it's important to get that the big general pattern in first. We're after. There. And we got this one. They're roughly up to about there, so we'll just tweak him up a tad. This one here. And scale him down a bit. It's even got a nice little step to it as well. One little point there, then that one there. Seeing sort of drawing in the shapes and the rocks, like that little step that goes from there to even there, always gives that variety and you know, that little bit of depth in your painting. There we go. And we've got, there we go, we'll use, it's a nice dark as well. Let me get a little bit of that, look at that triangle shape in that rock there. Look at that pointing us up there nicely. So that shape, we were talking about shapes the other day. A few little darks around it. And this rock here looks good the way it sort of wobbles a bit. It's a bit different in shape. Comes around a bit there. Get the dark on the side of him, a bit of value. Value under him. And a bit of ultra straight in there. Look at that. And bring the knife into it here and there. As I said, it's handy having some of this, all your colours like a big palette like this. You can see all the colours. I can just go straight back into those there and tweak them a little bit the way I want them. I'll come down a bit, up a bit. There. On the greeny side. Scale him to the way I want him, that's better. I like the way it goes like that as well. So I'm looking at the shapes I want to draw. Nice. Indicating too. It's a lot of fun. I love painting rocks. nice. Didn't want that. Wipe him out. I want the dark. That's better. As I said, the knife can really help get some great textures in that here and there, especially around your focal point and that sort of thing. Though it's great. A few sharp edges, grab the eye. Dark and light, sharp edges, and strong. Hey.
Want to ask if the native black brush is a bristle or a synthetic?
Bristle. This one is, yeah, hog hair bristle. Hog hair bristle. This knife. A little bit. The hog hairs are a little bit sort of stronger to push this thick paint around and get that nice texture, but it's a nice brush. Size 10 or 12 would be ideal. There we go. There's little darks left, they look great. I'll keep it, just indicate a few little values up there on the edge of the painting. Just soften it out. A bit richer in colour there. Bring him through. That's it. Got a little bit of red oxide mix in that grey. They just brought it forward from those ones up the back. And then we got a bit of highlighty colour here and there. Sparkle. We've got a nice light rock just here. He's a nice angle too, I like that. He sort of comes on and we'll bring him over here. Just about there, I reckon. There we go, he looks good. And we'll get a bit of that. A bit of. See a couple of little values look good up here. We'll just tweak a couple more. There we go. And there like that. To fill that big mass in, there's a couple of little, nice little ones there. Just indicate them. Having the knife back to them gives a nice edge to it. See, I'm constantly wiping the knife out. You want your knife, look at that, nice and shiny. That's not gonna, there's no dry paint on there to put scratches through it. You're getting a nice edge when you put the knife on there. Digging that big pile of white up here. I like that. It's a bit nice, a little bit of lighter value just here. That's what we want. Yes. Takes a lot of sorting out these, getting the values and stuff happening. As I said, I should be stepping back a bit more myself just to get an idea of how it's shaping up. He probably finishes there, but I'll see what happens as we get down into here. I'll just step back and have a little look. Oh yes, getting there. See that little bit of grey rock. Quite like that little value. I might get back in here. You can see it just here. It's just there roughly. Let's get him in there. And I like that. Sort of slight silvery bluey grey, isn't it? Lovely silvery grey, silvery blue grey. I can see it. It was just here as well. And a little bit here. It just breaks those greens up a tad. That'll do it. Get a little one back in here. Where are we? There we are. It's just getting the balance, the right balance of our darks and lights we want. There we go. That's it. It knocks him back a tad. I'm going to bring him back, I'll see. So it's constantly sort of going backwards and forwards, adjusting and sort of seeing what you like. It's the sort of dominance of the dark. Get these ready. Warm crimsony rocks in as well. Model them a tad. A bit there. Okay. And we'll work up into here now, richen that up a bit. At the time I'm just grabbing the greys I've already got mixed here and throwing them together with a bit of stronger colour. And that'll, because we've got the 3 colours in it already, haven't we? The rock has a bit of a different modelling effect to it. So it's different strokes, just trying to indicate different shaped rocks, just light and dark values. As I said, it's such a busy subject, you really got to just indicate and give a general impression. That's the way to paint rocks, but the general impression is that judging just the right amount of dark and light you want to leave. I quite like that bigger feel of that rock there. We'll just, best way to do is just cut in a few of the other shapes around him. See how he sits in there. Okay. Like that sharp edge there. The knife, and we'll bring. This needs to be pointed up a bit that way. There's lovely warm colours in there. That'll really help drag it forward too. Step back and have a look. There we go. It's a little bit overpowering, that one. He's fighting with our focal point, so we'll just knock him back a bit. Just a smaller. That's it, he sits in there a bit better. So if you're afraid to just scrape back a bit and scrape him a tad, then re-establish. Another area over there for my darks. I just need a nice clean strong dark, so I don't want to get any light colour with it. So go to the other area in your palette so you're keeping it. That's it. A nice simple dark. That's it. So you just brush it in there. Just putting it on thin, just over some of that stain we've already got there. Just thicken up the value a little bit. Take him around a bit. Yeah. Very difficult. You know, you got to make all these shapes. Got to look different. Like that angle pointing us into the picture of that value there. Well, just cut into them a little bit. It's got a softer feel of that round, the rock rolling over on that one. We'll just lightly dry brush over our dark. That'll give some effect of it, sort of rock that's a little bit softer. And there. What else is going on in the painting here? Greys up here. Yep. Keep this secondary to what's happening in here, because this will zing a bit more when we get our white water and with the turquoisey colour in here as well. And we mustn't lose fact of that the sun is coming this direction as well. Keep control over our values and thought process. I might even just, yeah, I'll do a bit more here, and There's that sort of red golds and sort of oxide browns. Yeah, a richer sort of colouring in here. That helps drag it forward a bit. We'll bring in when our white water comes in, it's really going to give us a bit of form in our rocks as well. Greys. Okay. There we go. The yellow oak and a bit of that cad scale or cad red light. If you're using the Harding cad red light, it's a lovely colour. That's what this one is. Or the cad scarlet, all similar, same family. There we go. Just a little bit of warmth. A bit strong. A bit to it, a little bit of the red to him. Nice pinky red. There we go. Just connect it up a bit here and there. Starting to get a little bit busy, which is always a hard thing when you're painting these rocks and that. The amount of dark and light you want to leave and still tell the story. Okay, it's a bit better. So I'm just picking out what I want. Richer browns. Here we go. Come in there. There, that's where we want him. As I said, it's a constant battle of changing and rearranging shapes. Okay. At the time, what I should be doing here is moving on up the back a bit more. That other little rocky outcrop we've got up the back here, should be moving on to some of that. Okay. Take us through there. No little tracks letting the eye through there. See that? Break that barrier up. Now I'll get through there a bit now. So it's getting the big design in and You sort of see I'm just tweaking what I feel it needs. Then we're coming up the back here. We've got more into the real, a bit more grey, a bit more ultra, and a bit more the alizarin in the mix is going to get it for us. Okay, a bit of that. I need a bit more alizarin. I'll just clean that spot where I'm going to put it. It's a bit tarnished. And we'll use that there. I'll just scrape out my brush. This is what I do when it clogs a little bit. Just scrape some of these greys. We'll keep the pile of grey there, because as I said, we can just grab that and use it. That's better. Okay, let's get into another mix here. Ultra into that bit of grey. It's a bit grey. You can see in the picture it's greying off a bit. A little bit of alizarin up there as well. It's to kick it back a bit. That little, yeah, it's better. See them values up there. The edge of that brush, just nice little edges we got there. Highlight coming this way so the sun's hitting it. Mod them the way we want. Some there. And I'm bringing these trees over a bit more into the painting as well. And we can just get a little bit of the warmth, that ochre feel, a bit more of the white, just to give us a little bit of variety amongst the greys up there. There we go. Oh, it's a bit bright. So it jumped out of tone. You see that? Out of tone. Just knocking back. There we go. That sits it back in the painting now. Look at that little rock that goes up. That looks quite good. Like a dramatic different shape, isn't it? That there. There we go. Through there. There we go. I like this little point that comes out there too. It's important in the picture. There we go. Model him up. I might, next stage, I might move into a bit of quite like that rock there too. I might move him over here. ultramarine. Get them darks. See, it's drawing with a brush the character, looking at that rock there. The character of him comes down. Next one there. So I'll make a decision when I come in here with the water and all this water here. How much I want to leave. Just the general design we want. There we go, that's nice. It's got a greeny, bit of greeny colour. The cat yellow mid even. That blue there, ultra. Bring him in down on an angle. A bit ochre, lighten a bit. Step back from it. Just a tip out when you sort of see how it comes together, the patterns and how busy it is. All abstract up close, and then when you step back, hopefully it comes into gear. What's it like about a good landscape or a good traditional picture away? It really is quite abstract. Pushing a few little warms amongst our greys up the back here. There we go. Just scumble them over. Just a little bit of strength in the greys. That's it. A minute. Now, what I'll do now is I'll move on. I think, because get some of the sky and the distance working, and it's going to give me a better idea of what I've done down the front here, because it's all relative, one thing next to the other, and you paint it. I'll give you an idea of direction you've got to go. There we go. That's better. Okay. neat. Come back and have a look. Yeah. Just a little highlight on this fella here. It's sort of darker and lower in key, but just a flick or two on him. There we go. Back up. There we go. Okay, and then we got our tree and foliage here. We might even just sketch a bit of that in because the light's come this way, so we've got a little bit of highlight in the side, but we'll get a bit of one of the pictures had a little bit of, you can see a bit of the greeny grass in behind it. We might even get that under the base of it, just to give us a bit of variety, and also it'll break the edge up there a bit with slight different sort of shape and a bit of interest up here. Let's see how we go. Point a bit of grass coming in on the edge of our rocks there, so it already does it, doesn't it? Look at that. Little break up of, you can see it in one of the photos, certainly off the back there. There we go. Feel to go through there. That's all it needs. That helps a bit actually. Go a little bit of it, maybe just there. And dark's nearly right for what we want there for those trees from the staining. But we'll come back with a bit of the blue and the yellow. A bit of yellow in there. We'll just scumble it over a bit just to tweak it a bit. There we go. A bit more ultra. They're a bluey, greeny, sort of those coastal oaky things. Bring him through. And bring, that can be nice. I'll bring another one just here. And that's it. Bring him in a bit just to break up that horizon line a bit, just soften it together a tad. And bring out the sky in around it, that'll give us a bit of form. A little bit of highlight. I'm grabbing some of these greys. So it's going to be greeny, ochre grey. There we go. There we go. Lemony yellow colour in there. There we go. That did something for it too. Just an extra highlight here and there. You can think about that design as the sky comes down. Remember our last picture, the sheds, how the trees sort of came together when now we pushed our sky in there, which I might even do very soon. Let's knock them back a bit there. And we will knock him back a bit. There we go. Modelling, constantly modelling and tweaking We got the rocks and stuff. I kind of like that another little point there too. We'll get a feel of that in there. There. We got one there. It's only subtle drawing, but I like it. There we go. Just sort of gives it a little bit of variety and form up the back there. Yeah, feeling of depth of going around there as well. Okay. What's the time, Josh?
11:47.
What is it?
11:47.
Okay. All right. I might mix in some of this sky. Get that working. Just to give you an idea. Clean us an area there. We've got the greys. Use this as my sky brush. Yeah. Okay, let's wipe that clean there. We can get a bit of sky happening. I'll leave those there because there's a lot of the greys I've got for our rocks, so I can come back and do adjustments as our painting's developing. And that's going to stay wet for another week or so for me. A bit of clove oil, just a dab in there. I showed you the other day, just a dab in there and mix it around. Which is ideal now, so I can keep all this working wet into wet. Now up the background, it's all in those lovely, it's sort of lilac purpley greys, isn't it? So we'll get a whole heap of our white. I need a heap of that. A bit of a alizarin. And as I said, plenty of it. See, plenty of it on our brush. Look at how much I've got on the brush there. And we'll dab a bit on there to give ourselves an idea. That's not too bad. Maybe a bit more alizarin or the red in that mix is going to go close. Oh, that's a fair bit, but we'll try a little bit of that lemon yellow in there too. Yes, that's it. Look at that. Get that mix in there just to give ourselves an idea. I'm going to end the headland, so we've got a little bit of ocean taking us out of the painting. It's all going to be pretty soft and lost and found as well. What I like to do too, as I'm doing this, I'll just quickly brush lightly some of this sky mix in patches here and there, because you see it reflects in areas, so we want little bits of it coming right through the painting in a way. It's only thin, but when I come back into that, it'll pick up in the other colours I've got, and it'll give me a feeling of a bit of my sky coming through the painting. Yeah. As I said, we'll have a look at think about this, some of this stuff up here as it develops and we're getting the sky happening. There's a hair in it, distracting. Thinking about the design of that hill there. around to give myself an idea. Sort of comes up here. How dominant we want it. So, yeah, anyway, give ourselves an idea. There we go. Sort of see how that purple-grey harmony is running through the painting. It's actually a lovely colour against the rock. And we've got some lovely soft clouds there too, we'll get them in. And the sky meets these rocks here, we'll have a look at that. Isn't that nice? So picking up the paint, look at that lovely stroke texture. An oil painting looks great. Meet the rocks here, and a little bit coming through the trees here and there. Create a design we want. There we go. Look at that. So I'm going to soften it out a bit. Use the knife. Come back in there. Think about that. Going up there. Be subtle with the ocean when we tone that up as well. And think about a few little negative shapes in there. No, I can just soften them out with the fingers. That just gives a feeling a bit of sky coming through in there. Same with that one. So we can get the other brush and tweak it. It might be a little bit hard. See the edge up the back here, our rock. We can just knock him back. That's better. We don't want it fighting with that. We just want it to complement it in a way. It's a bit more up and down. You can see. Come back in with it. Even just dragging that brush through it here and there. See that? Just that's better. Look at that. Just softening it back. There. What I'll quickly do is get a feel of the mountain there, which the mountain is, all that mountain is going to be is a stronger version of our sky. A bit of the lizard, a bit of the cascade will get it for us. We'll see. There we go. And that sort of lilacs. I'm still a bit undecided of where I want or how big I want to put him in here yet. There we go. And a bit stronger in tone. Just a tad. A little lizard in it. See that? I put it on there. And then I sort of made the call a little bit more ultra. A bit more alizarin. Getting the tone I want. I'm using some of the sky. See that? Come in there. Feel distant mountain there even. There we go. Lost that's it. Anyway, it's something I can contemplate while Friday, our next lesson, which will be probably finishing this one off. Yeah, back a bit, that's better. And I'll take photos, close-ups for you to put on our page of some of the stages, and I'll zoom in on there for you to give you a idea as well. Yeah, it's going to look better about here. A mountain. Because there's a little darker tone I can see running through there. And we'll tone that up a bit more even. It's handy having all that paint there. I can compare the tones there too, sky and mountain on the palette. Just a tad more. There we go, that's what we want, that one there probably. Runs down, it's good the way it scales down like that. Using the brush strokes more up and down as well, you can sort of see that effect. That looks good. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. Feel it there. Yeah, sort of like another little one there, looks good, that little kick. Down. Just pick up a bit of the sky. See the sky colour there? So it just softens it for me as well. Now we'll get the tone in there, that other one. Yeah, it's not bad. And there. Yeah, once you start and get other things happening, it starts to bring all this into play. As I said, we can come back. I've got to come back and tweak that. Come back down here when we get our design in here as well, and some of this colour of our sky in here. I'm going to push those stronger turquoises, and that thing will do that in the next stage anyway. And I'll just knock that back there a bit now, tone up that one. Tone back there, just there, like another row, you can see it there. Let's have a little bit of beach to it as well, so how long we want to take it, soften it, so bring the mountain back down into it, so it's just feeling they're lost and found. We don't want definite sort of line, but just that little lost and found effect. There it is. We'll come back up with our knife. That's all we need. And there's a little bit of pinky grey, a bit more white, a bit of the red in there, the cat scale or the cat red light, whatever you're using, with the blue, and it gives us a feeling of it's like a sandy beach. There we go. Just here and there. Grey him down a bit more. said, everything as it goes into the distance in nature usually greys off. It'll go into blue greys like today, especially in this picture. The prevailing atmospheres are sort of lilac with the blues up the back. That will go back to lilac blue greys as it goes back into the distance. Just tidy up that rock and stuff there. There's as it develops, got in there, reducing its scale, gives it a. So once you get things around, I'm talking about just tweaking it. Okay. Sits it in there. That's got in. And that. Reds. Okay. Yeah, that sort of tells you that should be sitting in there more. That's a bit richer. That's better. And when I, which I might even do now, just to finish it off a fraction, a little bit richer colour in the water, and that'll get the lay of the land working for me just there. Maybe it's a little bit up. That purple, so we'll go a bit richer version of our ultra with alizarin. That let's introduce a little bit of iridium into that mix. Just a tad. There we go. Just want to pick up some of the sky as well. There we go. Yeah, sort of that and that colour there. We'll try. Maybe. Into that. That's it. More that. Just that. There we go. It's important too to keep a nice straight line and level out the back there. We want this nice and level running through here. So plenty of paint and the brush is loaded, so I'm able to sort of go straight through there. And we can lose that a bit more up the back. Go. And we shall do that too. I'll scrape the brush out. Water. Okay. So that's sky colour here I need as well. There we go. Just to soften it back a bit here and there. And we'll brush a bit of that back over our ocean there. So that, oh yeah, let's bring it in again, look at that. And we can lose it a bit there. As I said, so just soften a soft brush stroke back over it to lose it so it's not harsh out there. So with the way it comes down, a bit of atmosphere, and come back down with the paint, just shape the mountain you want, see that? And we can do some lost and found edges. That's through there. That's better. So knock him back a tad. A little bit of that sky brushed into that turquoisey look there. You can see it's got that, all got that lovely purple grey harmony through it. And quite enjoying this. I don't want to stop painting this picture myself today for the next lesson. Anyway, I think we'll leave it at that, then we can come back in and do our sky and model things up, but I'll take a few close-up for you so you can see, get a feeling what I've done here and there. And we finished off our ocean, our white water, the sky up there, and all that modelling in the next phase. That'll complete this one. Then we'll have to think about another subject. There's been a request for gum tree, Australian eucalypt, the big old river red gums. So that'll be a bit of a task for us to do. That'll be a harder subject. Okay then, we'll see you all Friday, and happy painting. Chivity yumble.